Welcome to the Wrestle Story. We discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Wednesday after AEW NXT, every Friday after SmackDown, and occasionally we stream Thursdays after NXT UK.
Yes.
Welcome to the Raw.
What's up?
Show. I'm sorry. I'm absolutely done with Becky. The outfit she had on was as bad as Cody's tat.
I didn't mind the outfit. I thought it... Why are you so out of frame, man? I didn't mind the outfit. You're scooching the other way. You're like, hey guys, what's up?
How you guys doing?
No, I didn't really have a problem with her outfit. I mean, it was a look, man.
It's because the camera's moved over. That's why.
It was kind of
this way.
It was kind of a look, you know.
Move it over a little more.
Sorry,
guys. Camera got adjusted.
She had Big Bird.
8 out of 10, love draw. How you doing, James? How you doing, Zando?
She was wearing Big Bird, her giant sunglasses, and the King's crown.
Back to the Hulk shirt.
Yeah.
I went with the red one today.
Opposite one. So guys, tonight's Raw, I actually kind of loved it.
It was okay.
There were like 2 parts that I was just kind of like, not for me. But everything else was really, really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I would say
not
probably
gonna lie.
7 out of 10.
I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10, just like Zandel. Because I think it was pretty good.
Like I said, it wasn't bad. There's some segments I didn't like. But
There
hey,
were...
We'll talk about it as we go through. Let's get it started.
So, we start the show off with Brock Lesnar, and I'm sitting here going, great. We're going to get the exact same Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman promo we always get, and awesome, cool, whatever. So, Heyman comes out and says, Drew is a hyped up fraud. Let's examine why you all cheer for Drew McIntyre so much. Brock Lesnar,
by the way, hi Daniel,
massacred 15 consecutive stars in the WWE in the Royal Rumble. Only to then get hit from behind by Ricochet, which led to Drew Claymore kicking Brock out of the ring. And of course, you people loved that. And we offer no excuses that Drew McIntyre kicked off Brock Lesnar's face. Sneeze. There was no sneeze in this promo. Just so you're aware. There was no sneeze.
No.
Since we offer no excuses that Drew kicked Brock Lesnar's face in, we offer no excuses that Drew eliminated Brock from the Royal Rumble. But what makes you people think Drew McIntyre will be able to pin Brock Lesnar? Or submit Brock Lesnar? Drew McIntyre is nothing but an overhyped, stupid little bitch who will be beaten. Long pause, because then Drew McIntyre's music hits. Drew comes out. Brock and Drew come face to face. They're all like. And then Brock starts to walk away. And I'm all like, boo! And then Brock turns around like he's going to go to, pick up Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre Claymore kicks him in the face. And Brock is down. Drew then leaves. And Brock, we're left with Brock just kind of hanging out there. And he then gets up and goes up to the ramp and stuff. And Drew McIntyre comes out again and Claymore kicks him in the face. And I'm like, bro, that's 2 Claymore kicks. And Brock Lesnar's like, where am I? What's happening here? Whoa, homies, whoa. And then Drew McIntyre Claymore kicks him again for a 3rd time. And I was like, stop it. You can't not have Drew McIntyre win at WrestleMania at this point. You can't, no. No way.
I think he's going to win.
He has to win.
But I think he's going to take a beating here next week.
Probably.
Or the week after. Never tweeted that much in that long time.
He's probably going to take a beating.
I have thoughts on the whole Randy thing for those of you that were talking about Randy.
So, I was like, real, skeptical going into the segment. Like, it's Brock Lesnar. It's going to be the same promo. But it was actually good, and I enjoyed it. And I didn't think I was going to. This is probably the 2nd or 3rd Brock Lesnar segment in the last several weeks that I've actually really enjoyed and have really liked.
That was good. I thought it was a good way to start the show off.
You have any other thoughts on this segment?
I mean, it was different than what we normally see out of Brock, where he just comes out and he destroys somebody, or Heyman just does a lot of talking.
He just got killed.
Yeah, it was good.
I saw somebody on Twitter, I don't remember who it was, but I saw somebody on Twitter say something about, well, that isn't really smart on Drew's part for doing the Claymore kick 3 times because now Brock Lesnar has time to prepare for it. It's very smart. That is true.
Yes.
That because Drew came out tonight and Claymore kicked him 3 times in the face, Brock Lesnar needs to be prepared for that. He's going to be prepared for that, happening at WrestleMania.
So now Drew comes up with something else.
That's what I'm thinking.
Possibly.
He's going to come up with something else, maybe? Maybe not? I mean, it is a very valid point.
Yeah.
That Brock is going to now have a strategy, as to how to avoid the Claymore kick. Right? Wouldn't that make sense?
Might.
So.
All I know is Drew's winning at Mania, and it's going to be awesome. I think he will win at Mania too. But I think
I hope so.
Here's what I think is going to happen. He's going to take a beating sometime in the next couple weeks.
It's probably going to be very similar to the Seth Brock match at last year's WrestleMania. Only, they went on at the beginning of the show, and Drew and Brock are going to go on at the end. I think it's going to be like Drew gets the crap kicked out of him before the match even starts.
Yeah, possibly.
And then he ends up getting, the super quick, I got the rush of power, and I'm going to Claymore kick him 3 times in the face, and Brock's just like, ah!
Yeah.
I think it could be very similar to that.
Could be. I'm sorry, but I have to say the scripted Randy Orton is a human piece of garbage.
A human piece of garbage.
Well, at least he's human.
So, yeah, that's that on that. I like the opening segment. Didn't have too many problems with it.
Yeah, I thought, opening segment was good, definitely.
Mm-hmm. We then get
I agree.
Street Profits versus...
I have thoughts on that. I'm going to tell you my thoughts here in a minute.
The Street Profits versus Seth Rollins and Murphy, and this is a now or never match. If the Street Profits lose, they don't challenge for the Raw Tag Team titles ever again. Now, knowing WWE, they probably would have gone back on that even if they did lose. They would have been like, oh, well, it was just they don't get to go after the titles if they were fighting Seth and Murphy.
Yeah.
It would have been something like that. So AOP ends up getting banned from ringside, and then Kevin comes out when the ref's back is turned, when he's like distracted with AOP, and he ends up hitting the stunner on Seth, which then leads Montez forward to go hit the frog splash to then get the pin on Seth and your Street Profits. The Street Profits are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. I think this was smart, putting the belts on them, but I'm afraid they're going to lose them this weekend.
I don't think so. I think they're going to retain. I think they're going to keep them for a while.
I think they should, but I just don't know.
They will keep them.
I hope they keep them.
Yeah.
So, Montez Ford's frog splash, man, it's a thing of beauty. It's amazing. He gets so much air when he does it, and it looks so good and just awesome.
Yeah, I think that, again,
he has so much talent.
Yeah.
So much talent.
I think that I think with the two of them, I think that they will retain. Now, the one thing I could see happening is Seth and Murphy.
Murph the Smurf.
Get it back because of AOP.
That's what I'm saying. I think,
SmackDown, take notice, and yeah, I'm referring to Bruce Prichard.
I think that's a possibility that they do retain, they retain. They win the titles back just because.
Any chance Mania gets canceled? I think a lot depends on how things go with this whole coronavirus.
Yes.
I think if we start to have more cases pop up, which I know there's cases still popping up, then I would say there's a possibility. Considering that there's been a lot of stuff that is closed down worldwide.
Yeah.
Now, what they may do, possibly, is have matches without a crowd.
That's what I was literally just. Everyone can wear Sin Cara masks to Mania. That's what I was just gonna say. I was talking to Mom earlier, and she said something about, well, what they could do is they could still have WrestleMania and just don't have the crowd there and just let it be a televised event for everybody to watch. Which, it sucks for everybody who bought tickets, but they could refund them if they want to, or whatever the case may be. But I think that'd be smart too. Is to do, it could, if it's not bad enough, they could do the event and just don't do the crowd thing, because if there's crowds, there's more chance of people getting the stuff if somebody has it. So, that's a lot of refunding. It is, but it would be a better option than, I suppose, just canceling it outright.
Yes.
So, I don't know. If I was going to an event, somebody had coronavirus, I'd be like, I don't want to be getting that coronavirus. Like, no, thanks. That's why they're advising people not to go out in crowds. So.
We have not been to a WWE live event or a pay-per-view. I used to go to wrestling matches when I was a kid.
I've never been to one.
But she has never been to one.
Nope, never.
Gleen and Maven, WWE has released Matt freaking Hardy. Yes. And actually, his contract ran out. And Gleen is Ricochet turning heel or going back to Prince Puma or a repackage. I hear he's injured. I don't know.
Well, speaking of Ricochet, he's next. Well, actually, first we have a Seth interview. He says, we demand a rematch with the Street Profits for Elimination Chamber. And Kevin, name a place, a time, and a stipulation for a match, one-on-one with me.
Matt Hardy is gone. WWE needs to get younger. Problem with getting younger is they're not getting the talent over. And if they don't get talent over, they're in trouble.
Yeah. So with this whole Seth and Kevin thing, I'm going to say a time, probably roughly 8:30, 9:30 p.m.-ish. A place, probably most likely WrestleMania. And a stipulation, maybe probably most likely Falls Count Anywhere or no disqualification or something. That's what I'm thinking.
Or Elijah, here's the thought. Maybe he's upset with what they're doing with him.
Yeah, so guys, speaking of Ricochet.
What the hell happened to Kevin Owens?
I don't know, man. I don't know. He helped people. Helped the Street Profits.
Yeah.
He wants to smoke.
Yeah.
So, we then get Riddick Moss versus Ricochet for the 24/7 title. You don't even know. What an embarrassment this is. This is just embarrassing This is such a slap in the face to Ricochet, and it's like, my gravies, what are you doing with the man? Please explain to me what this is. Last week he was fighting for the Universal title, and this week he's fighting for the freaking 24/7 title. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It makes literally no sense, like, at all. And I am so disappointed in the way that they have used him. It's just kind of ridiculous. He got beat by Riddick Moss, who's been on the roster for 2 minutes and hasn't beaten, like, anybody.
But he is a champion.
Are you kidding me?
Just saying.
He beat Mojo. Mojo is the equivalent to a jobber. I'm sorry, but he is. Riddick Moss is the equivalent of a jobber.
I think
and now Ricochet is the equivalent of a jobber. Are you kidding me?
If they would have let Ricochet win this, I think they could have made this. Hey, don't forget, they could have made this like him legitimate.
No. How does it make him legitimate? Winning the 24/7 championship? Are you kidding me?
I think he could have made the 24/7 title like
no,
a legitimate title.
No, they were never gonna do that. It was crazy to ever think that.
You see it more than you do the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title.
I don't care, but this is ridiculous. He never should have even been put in this match. It was just, if he won the match, everybody's gonna go, oh my gosh, he was literally fighting for the Universal title last week, and this week he's the 24/7 champion. Are you kidding me? And if he lost the match, everybody was gonna go, he just lost to Riddick Moss. Are you literally kidding me? He should have never been put in this match at all. They could have found any other guy on the roster, No Way Jose, EC3, anybody who is the equivalent of a jobber at this point because they don't get used. They could have put them in this match instead of Ricochet, who was like a mid-card guy up until tonight when they did this. Like, are you serious? And he was I don't even know what to say because this is just, I don't know what to say about this.
Well, if he's legitimately hurt, I think they could have found a better way to take him off of.
I think he's just angry at this point.
But with what they're doing with him, I have no clue. I have no clue what they're doing.
Guess what? I'd be a little angry too. Okay, just saying. I would be very, not just
Hashtag maybe this is my favorite.
Not just
I
a
have
little.
Clue what you speak of.
I'm not just a little angry. I wouldn't be just a little angry if I was Ricochet. I would be a lot angry because last week they were treating him like a top guy, even though
the problem is
Ricochet last year was having great matches with Johnny Gargano and Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black and the Viking Raiders, and this year I'm baffled. I don't know what to say about this. It's just ridiculous, and I don't know what to say. I feel really bad for Ricochet.
The problem is hey, thanks for the follow. The problem is Ricochet, Elijah. I think that putting him in this 24/7 match is like a killer. If we're supposed to take him serious, it makes it tough to take him serious.
Yep.
And they gotta fix that part. It's not about a good match in wrestling, Maven. It's character and storylines and promos that what matter. Well, I agree. That's 100% what matters. The only problem is you're putting him in a 24/7 title, and I think that's where you have the issue.
Except, see, the issue is not Ricochet doesn't have a good character or anything like that, because he does. When he was in NXT, he was really good. He was one of their top stars. And the sad thing is, when they brought him over to WWE, it's like, it killed. All the momentum was killed. Everything was essentially reset. He's starting from the bottom, and he's got to work his way up. And they refused to use him, and they refused to use him in the way they should be using him. And it doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I don't get it, because the guy is so very talented. He's a freak of nature. He does flips and all this crazy stuff that normal people don't do, that 90% of their roster doesn't do, and they have something with him, and they're just not using him.
Here's the thing,
really makes
Elijah,
me angry.
If they made the 24/7 title like a legitimate title, I would believe that, I'd be more inclined to believe that this was trying to benefit Ricochet. But right now, I don't know what they're doing with him.
Nope, I don't know what they're doing with him either. They didn't know what they were doing with him last week when they had him get beaten in 2.2 seconds.
Rey Mysterio's okay. I have, thoughts about
He has memories of Rey Mysterio being thrown inside of a building, so yeah, that's why he doesn't like him. There you go.
Starting from the bottom, okay? Drake.
He did though. If you look at it, he was on top of the world when he was in NXT. He gets moved to Raw, and he is now at the bottom of the totem pole. It doesn't matter what he did down there. It doesn't matter how big of a superstar he is or was. It doesn't matter.
Well, they were trying to make. I think
doesn't matter.
Initially, they were trying to make him a star, and it didn't work out.
What didn't work out about it?
I don't think he got the pop from the crowd.
Start from the bottom. Now we're here. Not too far up from the bottom. He started at a 0. Now he's approximately at a 0.5. So, like, it's so frustrating. And it's like, because Ricochet has something.
Or Elijah, maybe he's going to be Venom.
I don't get it. And what's up with him now wearing shorts? Apparently he wears shorts now. In the last 2 weeks, you know, it's because he's now a jobber. I think I get it. The jobbers all wear shorts. And so he was wearing pants, and that meant he was still a superstar on the roster.
That's how we
and
separate.
Now he's Ricochet the jobber. He was Ricochet the superhero.
You're my respect.
Ricochet the superhero is the guy that wears the red pants. Ricochet the jobber is the guy that wears the blue shorts. That's how we tell them apart. And until we see the red pants again, I'm afraid things are going to go very, very bad for Ricochet.
So now we figured out how to identify jobbers and, like,
see, none of this garbage started happening, you know, where he was fighting Riddick Moss till he started wearing the shorts. Maybe he should just go back to the pants. I really think the pants are what made him him. That's what I think. I think the pants were it. The shorts, not so much.
You didn't like James Ellsworth, Daniel?
I like James Ellsworth. He was funny.
I thought he was a dork, but...
Agreed, but he was funny. He was a funny dork.
Yeah.
He's kind of like R-Truth.
Crash Holly 2.0. You know. God bless Holly, though. Rest in peace.
So, Moss won. Who cares? Whatever. Whoopty-doopty. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
You have anything else to add?
No.
Okay, good. I'm going to get a long sip of my water, and then we're going to move on to the next segment, which I actually liked.
The AJ Styles promo.
All right, here we go. AJ comes out, he says, I'm not in a good mood. Someone deprived me of the honor.
Just make sure you're hydrating yourself.
Of being the two-week gauntlet champion. Maybe you've heard of him. The Undertaker. He took that from me. I can't believe he did that. He's the talk of the town. I'm the talk of the town, and not in a good way. How could you talk about AJ Styles in a negative manner? Can someone explain this to me? I just don't get it. He then says, and in Hollywood, this guy, Mark Wahlberg, he has the nerve to give me advice. Like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He then shows the Mark Wahlberg video.
Now she's stuttering. She's a stuttering queen.
Mark Wahlberg in the video, he says, I got some advice, AJ. Just walk away. Walk away while you still can. That's my advice to you. There you go. He says, well, Mark, I'm going to follow my gut on this one. Seems I'm on a collision course with Taker. I hope you're watching, because after I beat Aleister Black, that is just a fraction of what I would do to you. You were trying to hold on to the glimmer of spotlight that you have left, but it's not yours anymore. It's mine, because I'm AJ Styles, gosh darn it. We then get Aleister Black versus AJ Styles.
AEW's making some moves, yes.
Or so we think. AJ says, hold on just a second. Hold on. You'll get your fight, but someone didn't read the fine print of the contract they signed. I'm sitting here going, what? What contract? When was there a contract signed? We didn't see a contract signed, so it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, the contract you all saw him sign. I'm like, AJ, what? What contract? Like, what? What are you talking about? And he goes, you have to go through the toughest man in this building right now. Karl Anderson. And I'm going... I can't believe they're going to do this to us. They are going to make us wait for Aleister Black versus AJ Styles. Why am I not surprised? So we get Aleister Black versus Karl Anderson. And guess who won? Good old AB.
Karl Anderson's not big.
We then get...
Hey, we just pretend like he is, Daniel.
We then get Luke Gallows versus Aleister Black. And Gallows gets disqualified. We then get AJ versus Aleister Black.
I didn't mind the Liv Morgan Ruby Riott thing.
I'll share my thoughts
just because it creates... Yeah, I'll share it here in just a minute.
I'll share my thoughts in just a second. We then have AJ beating Aleister Black, but he finishes with, you know, the whole Undertaker thing. You know, death. He's dead now. He's pinned, you know, cool. So that was that. AJ won. Cool, neat, awesome. We then...
Well, the thing is, he had to win.
Yeah, because I think Taker's showing up at Elimination Chamber this weekend.
Well, the simple fact was
match.
He had to win just to make it so...
He had to win because Undertaker beat him on Thursday for the two-week trophy.
Well, yeah, but I think the whole thing is to set this up. If he loses here to Aleister Black...
Why is he fighting Taker?
Yeah, and then I think... I was kind of upset about the whole thing to start with, but then I got to thinking, okay, Aleister Black just went through 3 guys, so having him lose really didn't, you know, didn't hurt anything.
Except for the fact that this is Aleister Black's first loss in, like, months.
Well, but he had to go through 3 guys to do it, so...
I mean, yeah, whatever,
it was one of those things that if you're going to lose one, this is one to lose.
So
the only thing I wish he would have popped up at the end, like the Undertaker, when they were all standing in the corner doing their arms in the air thing, have him pop up.
Their arms in the air thing? Excuse me?
No, I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about, like, the whole thing where he was, like, showing off and...
Oh, his dance moves?
Yeah.
You know? Because AJ's got those epic dance moves as we saw in the Gauntlet match on Thursday. We then get an interview with Ruby Riott. They show the video of Ruby turning on Liv. She says, people make and break promises every day. The only reason The only person I'm responsible for is me. And this Sunday, I show there are no friends in the Elimination Chamber. We then get Ruby versus Liv. Sarah's the guest referee. Ruby gets in Sarah's face, which then leads Liv to get the roll-up pin. Sarah and Liv then take out Ruby, and at this point I was like, alright, well we know that Sarah's on Liv's side, neat, so that should go over well. And then Sarah takes out Liv. And I was like, well, forget I said anything, because I was wrong. So that was neat. Okay, a couple thoughts on it.
Don't worry about it.
The cord fell down.
Yeah.
I was like, what the garbage said? Did I just break things? No. Couple things. One, I think the Riott Squad feud could be cool. I think it could be very enjoyable. 2, the only issue I have with it right now is that the 3 are going to fight each other this weekend at Elimination Chamber. But I feel there has really been I don't want to say there's been no story that's been built up for this, but there has been very little story built around this whole thing. We understand Ruby came back and attacked Liv because she said Liv needed to be put in her place and she doesn't know what she's doing without somebody in charge of her. But, like, why does Sarah want to beat everybody up? Is she just doing it because, well, Ruby and Liv are? Or, like, what's the case? So, I think we need a little more, like, backstory as to why this whole breakup thing happened. You know? Because, like, Ruby just came back and she just, like, beat up Liv. And this is where, like, I want them all to fight each other, but I feel like this weekend is, like, a little soon.
We'll give them time. Maybe they'll talk about it.
For them to be fighting each other. But I don't want them to fight each other until we've had, like, this whole, like, backstory of, like, why is this happening? It's almost like it's almost,
chamber, so it's
which
gonna be a little
I
bit
get it,
regular.
But
was the show good? Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
It's almost like
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
It's almost like the Lana Liv thing. Like, there was no explanation as to why Liv went after Lana and said all those things, you know? So I feel like that's kind of, we're in the same boat with this whole Riott Squad thing. I think it could be good, and it could be really fun. It's just like, I just don't think there's been a whole lot of story as to why this all happened, and I feel like I need more before we get to the huge, like, implosion of, you know, the Riott Squad.
Give it time.
But the thing is, we've been dealing with this for the last month and a half, and there has been no build-up. There's been, like, no story.
Okay.
Very little story, and it's just like...
Maybe it's just a match, not a movie.
I don't know.
I don't know. The thing is, you give it time and see where they go with it.
That's just my take on it. I think there needs to be a little more story and a little more, like... Why is Sarah fighting both of them? I get it, the Elimination Chamber's coming up and they have a shot for the Raw Women's Championship, you know, at, like, WrestleMania. I get that. But, like, I almost don't think that's reason enough to be like, yeah, I hate you two and you both suck.
I agree.
So I need to beat the crap out of both of you. Like, I just don't think that's enough reason, because they've done this before where they've been put in matches and they, you know, two of them have had a shot for a title or whatever.
Well, again, let's see.
And they duke it out and they're like, yeah, we're still friends. No harm, no foul. It's just, it's part of the thing. I want a shot at the title. You want a shot at the title. So we're going to fight each other. And whoever wins, wins. But the Riott Squad is still going to end up going on to fight for the title. And if I win it, we all win it, you know?
So let's see what they do with it.
But, like, there is, like, no story here. And so I don't know. I want...
part of the Riott Squad, for whatever reason, they split up, and now they don't like each other.
Exactly, which is where I'm like, one of the pieces of the puzzle doesn't fit here. I need the piece to fit, so they need to tell me why they broke up. So, like, the puzzle will go back together. We're missing a piece of the puzzle.
I think that's the reason the storylines are filler or boring.
Like, I don't know. There's just... I like what
like I said, give it time and let's see. Maybe something they...
Okay, but you said the same thing about the Liv and Lana thing and nothing happened. We never got any explanation, and I was still sitting there... Okay, but I don't care. I was sitting there 4 or 5 weeks in, and Liv and Lana are still fighting... Liv and Lana are still fighting each other, and we've had no explanation as to why Liv did what she did.
See what happens.
Okay, but we're in the same boat with this, and I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know why you all are fighting each other. I don't know why Ruby came back. I mean, she gave us a little bit of reason as to why she's going after Liv, but I don't know why Sarah is attacking Liv. I don't know why Sarah is attacking Ruby. I don't know why they all are like, we hate each other. There is no reason. It's just Ruby came back, she was different, and this is what it is now. And it's like, what? When you left, you all were fine. When you come back, it's not the same thing, and I need some explanation as to why that is. Tell me why you broke up.
They didn't get along.
Okay, that's not the case, bro.
I don't know. It's just, well, wait. Give them time.
Except I've given them time and they haven't given me everything, but whatever. You know, whatever. It doesn't matter. Forget the story. We need no story. They're having a match this weekend. Doesn't really matter because when they beat each other up, it ultimately they're just beating each other up. None of them are going to win the match. It doesn't really matter. Like, I need to know why they broke up. This is the same issue I had with the Liv Lana stuff. I thought the Liv and Lana stuff was decent when they first did it. And then weeks after, they gave me nothing. And I was like, what? Why did this happen?
Raw matches toys.
Like, it made no sense. And this is where it's kind of in the same boat. I want it to be good, and I want to like it, and I think it could be good. But I need some explanation as to why all of this is happening in the first place. Whatever. It's not going to happen. Just admit it. It's not going to happen.
You might. I don't know.
We're never going to explain it. Just filler honestly. See, that's what I'm saying. That's where the issue lies here. Is like, this could be a good feud. Except, I don't have an explanation, and it's been going on for like a month and a half now since Ruby returned and attacked Liv, and now we have this Elimination Chamber match, and this is like a huge point, and like, should be a huge point in the story, and there's been no story build up thus far to it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And that's my 2 cents on that. Moving on. Edge and RKO video. We had that, kind of a recap. That was cool. We then have No Way Jose. He goes up to Rowan and asks, can we please see what's in the cage? Rowan says, you know what? Because you asked so nicely, I'm going to show you what's in my cage. I'm sitting here going, okay, this better be good. We've been waiting. I was like, wait a minute. They're not going to show us what's in the cage, are they? Because they, like, zoomed in on Rowan, and his, like, hands were in the cage, but, like, we couldn't see them. And I was like, they're literally not going to show us what's in the cage. And then they, like, started to zoom out, and he was, like, getting ready to pull whatever it is out of the cage. And I was like, all right, what is it? What is it? What have we been waiting 45 months for? And then it's a stupid robotic tarantula. And I'm going, that wasn't worth any of my time.
No.
Alrighty then.
The whole build-up was dumb.
I saw somebody on Twitter say, what if we get an R-Truth and Rowan feud out of this? Because if you think back years ago, R-Truth, when he was on the Money in the Bank match, he said he was afraid of spiders. He had a deathly fear of spiders. And they did like a whole story with it back then. What if they kind of go back to that and do something with a feud with R-Truth and Rowan?
Well, then R-Truth can't come to the ring because he's scared of spiders, and spiders will look at him, and so...
I was like, that could be kind of fun.
Vince, hey Rowan, I need to show a job of your animal. Rowan, okay, who, Vince? No way, Jose. Rowan, get Vince. Pay more. I don't know. I just don't get the whole. Well, why did they do this? Why?
I don't know. It wasn't worth anybody's time at all. Not at all.
Just dumb.
Not at all. So
they could have built a story out of this, and they just messed it up.
For sure. So we then get Shayna versus Kairi Sane. This was originally supposed to be Shayna versus Asuka, but Asuka has sprained her wrist. I don't know if this is a legitimate injury or if it's just for the show, so Asuka and Shayna didn't have to fight each other tonight because they're fighting each other on
I would say it's probably just for the show.
Saturday? Or Sunday? It's Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
So, Asuka and Kairi get on the mic beforehand. Asuka says, Shayna, you're lucky tonight. I said that so weirdly. Shayna, you're lucky tonight because I got injured. Kairi says, I've got this. Asuka then says Elimination Chamber, then Becky Lynch or WrestleMania. We get the match, it gets going. Shayna versus Kairi Sane, it's always been a good match. I've always loved the two of them working together. Kairi's really tiny, and her style's very different from Shayna's, but I feel like they work really, really well together, and I've always enjoyed all of their matches that they've had with one another. So Becky comes out midway through the match, and she joins commentary, and I kid you not, Becky has this giant yellow jacket. I swear to you, I think she killed Big Bird to make this jacket. And so she's got this jacket on, she's got giant sunglasses on, she's got this diamond necklace.
Victoria.
She's wearing jeans and a white tank shirt, then she goes to the commentary desk and she gets Jerry Lawler's crown and puts it on. And I'm sitting there going, my oh my, you are a look.
Becky is a superstar, right?
You are a look, man.
This is why she is going to lose at WrestleMania.
She is, okay, my thought process on this. She is cocky. She has beat every single woman in the division. She knows she is so much better than all of them. And the only person she has to worry about is Shayna. And she's not really worried about Shayna either. So she's coming out, and she's just kind of having some fun. You know, being a little goofy. Throwing the crown on.
Uh-oh. Elijah just got banned for 5 seconds. Good job, Elijah. You said cocky.
She's wearing the crown. She's having some fun. And that's all I think it is. It's fun. I don't think she's not really taken...
Oh, I turned heel. Sorry, Nightbot.
She's not really taken herself too seriously, I don't think. I think, like I said, I think she thinks she's, at the top, and she's untouchable right now because all the women in the division suck, and she's beaten every single one of them once, twice, 3 times. So she knows that she's got nothing to worry about. She doesn't have to worry about any of those competitors in the Elimination Chamber match except for Shayna. And even then, she just wants to egg Shayna on.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that she is losing at Mania.
I think that's almost a given at this point. I think she's losing at Mania. I saw somebody on Twitter say something about, well, what if this whole Asuka injury is for the story.
30
and they
points
end up.
You're back, Elijah.
And then they end up.
You were just out for 5 seconds.
What if this whole injury with Asuka is for the story, and they end up taking her out of the Elimination Chamber match, and then they replace her with somebody, and somebody said Bianca Belair, and I was like, you know what? They could build a really cool story with this. They could push out Shayna versus Becky past WrestleMania, because they could do, if Bianca got added to the match.
I'm surprised that it got you for cocky. I think we've had somebody use cocky before, haven't we?
I don't know. I don't remember.
And I don't think they got banned like that. That's weird.
I don't know. But, like I said, somebody said, well, what if Asuka gets taken out of the match, Bianca gets put in? I'm sitting here going, well, if Bianca gets put in there, I think Bianca might have a shot.
If they add her, then this is dumb. Then it just shows you how stupid WWE is.
Whatever. Can you let me finish?
It doesn't matter. If they do that, it's dumb.
Well, thanks. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take your headphones and I'm going to throw them at the wall, okay? This is just a theory I saw on Twitter that I thought was very interesting.
Anybody that wants Bianca in there is not a wrestling fan.
Excuse me, what? They were giving an idea. Okay, so now nobody can share their opinions. Got it. That's what we're saying here.
Here's the thing.
No, can you let me finish? Okay, but can you let me finish?
Not mono.
They're not. That's not even what they were talking about. You didn't even let me finish what I'm saying here.
No, but if they even consider putting Bianca Belair, I know where you're going with Elimination Chamber, but then it's going to end up looking at putting.
No, it isn't. Can you just let me finish? Oh my gosh! Stop talking for just a second so I can finish my thought. My gravy. Sometimes, I swear. Okay, the thought was Asuka, this whole injury is part of the story, and they take her out of the match, and Bianca replaces her in the Elimination Chamber match. Bianca would be the other wild card who could possibly get a shot to win. Bianca might be the one. If this theory was Bianca won the Elimination Chamber match. We go on to WrestleMania, and you have Bianca versus Becky. Shayna ends up coming out, costing Becky the title, and Bianca is the new Raw Women's Champion. You can then push that out to continue the Shayna and Becky story. They can build it up more. There can be more animosity. They hate each other so much, and then they finally have the blow up at SummerSlam or Money in the Bank, whatever.
No, I hope
not. This would be pushing the feud out a little further, and it could be, interesting. But if Becky's leaving after WrestleMania, then she's losing the title, and that's that. And that's the way it is.
Yes, Elijah, I did see that Matt Riddle was going to be on Raw.
Huh? Where do you see this?
It was posted earlier.
Oh.
That there's a possibility he might be there.
Oh. He supposedly was at Raw tonight. Not on TV, but there.
Yeah. Just saying.
Mhm.
Have you seen with Bianca Belair? It could do in the rain. Well, I like said Becky will lose it. I think she's gonna lose it too. No triple threat match at Mania. Time for one-on-one matches back. Yes. No more triple threat stuff. No more, throw the titles up with 19 people in the ring. Well, let's do it mono.
Sorry, Charlie, that's not the way wrestling works. You don't always get what you want. You always run your mouth about this. If there's a triple threat, there's a triple threat. Cool,
I have
whatever.
A crush on Becky.
So,
No, I'm sorry. The triple threat match, you win the title, doesn't mean you're the champion.
Okay, whatever.
All it means is you knocked one person out and they sat outside the ring for 25 minutes while you beat up the other person.
Okay, so what? Then what's the point of a Money in the Bank match? Explain that to me. Money in the Bank is a briefcase match where somebody's supposed to climb the ladder and grab the briefcase. You have a problem with that? You got a problem with that, because that's about 6 people that have been thrown out of the ring for the one person to go up and get the belt.
Money in the Bank's one thing, because you're
trying
to
but it's no different
at getting a title.
It's
but
no
way
different.
A title shot should have.
It's
3
no
people
different than putting the
people
Intercontinental title in a ladder match and somebody's getting the Intercontinental title out of that. It's no different than that. I don't understand what your problem with these types of matches are. I don't have a problem with them. Sometimes it makes it interesting, and whatever.
Well, then why don't we just have, a battle royal, and the one that's standing last is the champion?
Battle royals are a lot more jumbled up and a lot harder to follow than a triple threat match.
I hate triple threat matches.
Well, okay, you
can just go.
You can go on and hate your triple threat matches. I don't. I would not have a problem if they added Bianca into Rhea or versus Charlotte. Or if they added Bianca into whatever match they want to add Bianca into. It gets Bianca on the Mania
NBA
card.
Doesn't go, hey, we're going to have the LA Lakers versus the LA Clippers versus the Boston Celtics for the championship this year.
Okay, but that's basketball, and we're talking about wrestling, and you can have more than one person in a wrestling match. I mean, there's this thing called tag team matches where you have 4 guys in a ring at one time.
Yeah, well, I don't like having champions determined by, having 17 people in the ring.
So, we then have Shayna. She won. And then Shayna grabs Kairi again after the match is over and tries to choke her out, and then she leaves. We then got the least interesting match on the entire show. Did not care for this. Rey and Humberto versus Garza and Andrade. I don't care anymore.
They're just going to have these guys fight for the next 8 years.
I think so. Rey and Humberto won. It doesn't really make
in some way, form, or shape or another. Mayweather versus Pacquiao versus Mike Tyson.
It doesn't make any difference to me.
OMG.
I don't care about this feud anymore. I just want it to be Garza versus Andrade leading into WrestleMania.
If you want a triple threat match, make it more sense. Hey, thanks for the follow.
Bro, how would adding Bianca to the women's Charlotte and Rhea match not make sense? It makes perfect sense.
I don't like it.
I don't know.
I don't like having triple threat matches for a title.
Okay. It's cool. Fine.
Or quadruple threat matches, or any type of matches where there's more than
They call those fatal 4-ways.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
So, Rey and Humberto won.
I call it dumb.
Like I said, I just don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't really care. This feud is...
I agree with you, Alexa. I mean, Gleen. Daniel called me Alexa!
I don't care.
Hey, thanks.
This.
I hope I'm going to say this right. Equilibrus. I don't know if I said that right.
So, Rey Humberto, Garza, Andrade. I just want them to do Garza and Andrade WrestleMania. That's all I want.
Awesome.
That's all I want. You think they will take Phoenix off of NXT this week? Probably.
I think you have to just to play out the storyline.
Probably.
Is Gleen having a bliss fit?
So yeah.
Yes, because I'm now Alexa, and it's all Daniel's fault. A triple threat match for the second straight year at WrestleMania. They messed up Becky Lynch for Ronda Rousey match by adding Charlotte Flair, which is nobody wanted. I agree, Logic TV. They do not.
I do agree with that. They messed that match up big time. But I don't think the Charlotte Rhea match would be messed up if you add in...
WrestleMania might get canceled. There is a possibility that
I don't think there's a shot at messing up the Rhea Charlotte match if you add Bianca in, because I think there's a fair amount of people that do want to see...
The only reason I would say there's a possibility it could get canceled, there are actually a lot of bands that have started to cancel their tours and their shows. So, I think it depends on what's going to happen with... Now, they may wrestle without a crowd and just do the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends on what happens with the coronavirus.
Yeah. So we then get eliminated.
Indy 1901 or whatever it's called.
Sun Chamber. Seth and Murph the Smurf are fighting Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team titles this Sunday. I am only calling Buddy Murphy Murph the Smurf from here on out. Murph.
That's going to be a quiet arena.
Murph the Smurf.
It could be Jono. Or it could be loud.
Murph.
You pump in enough noise, you can make it loud.
Yeah. Murph the Smurf. Sweet. He's Murph the Smurf from here on out. And then we're also getting Aleister Black versus AJ for no disqualification.
They could move it to a small venue. But
the thing is, then that's still a crowd.
You're in a tighter quarters.
Yeah, and there's still like a rather large crowd there, so I would just do it without a crowd. That's what
I suppose you could go to Full Sail and do your WrestleMania.
Except, again, I'd still just make it so, like, there's no people.
Well, you do it without a crowd. It's just a smaller arena.
I mean, yeah, but whatever.
You have all the other wrestlers there cheering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then it would look like some of those, you know, the action figures that people do. Where they put the characters there, all the other wrestlers are in the crowd, and I hope it happens. AJ Styles versus Aleister dream match next year at WrestleMania. That'd be a good match.
Aleister Black and AJ Styles are having a no disqualification match at Elimination Chamber.
And SmackDown got 2 hours. Fiend versus Cena and Goldberg versus Roman. Yeah, I can handle that.
So, we then get Beth's update.
Murph the Smurf.
Yes. Beth's update on Edge. She comes out, she says, I appreciate being given the time. She doesn't get to say anything because then Randy Orton comes out. He tries to hug her and then tries to shake her hand. She says, you think I'm gonna hug you after what you did to my husband? You son of a bitch. And she's like, no, not doing it, you fool. Beth says, if anyone...
Murphy is a lot.
Beth says, if anyone needs to hear this, it's you. Randy then says...
I'm going to stop you for just a second. At first, I didn't think it was 9 out of 10, and then I thought it was 9 out of 10 after this. I love her commentary and reenactments.
I'll share my thoughts after I go through the entire promo.
Yes, this was... yeah, go ahead, finish it.
So, Randy says, there are no possibilities. After what I did to Edge, there are no possibilities that Edge will ever wrestle again. Beth, I owe an explanation. Back in 1999, WWE had a live event in St. Louis. My dad brought me downtown to meet some executives and some superstars, and at the time, I wasn't anything. I was a fan. And I met so many superstars, and then one superstar in particular came up to my dad. It was Edge. Then my father introduced me to Edge. He looked at me and said, maybe, just maybe, if you play your cards right, you might make it. Years later, Edge and I were battling all over the world. Then we made Rated RKO. Then I got a little too close to the sun. Made some very bad choices. Very bad life decisions. Edge saved my life. I was able to help my kids today because of what Edge did. Because without him, I wouldn't have made it. It would have been done. Over. Would have never had my children. I would have never gotten to do the things I've gotten to do with them. And so I thank him for that. Then he says, so I saved his life. The reaction Edge got was crazy. Then the next night, I did what I needed to do. Now Edge will be able to be there for your kids.
The reaction Edge got at Royal Rumble. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reaction got the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. You left that part out.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I was trying to type quick. He was talking really, really fast. The reaction he got at the Royal Rumble. He says, now Edge will be able to be there for your kids. Everybody blames me for what happened to Edge. You know it's not my fault. It's your fault. Edge is a junkie for the roar of the crowd. You should have stopped him. You should have stopped him.
Okay, stop right there. If they had ended it here, Randy was getting the crowd behind him to this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they had ended it here, because I see Randy as a true heel right now. And if they'd ended it here with the way people were going, like, hey, man, you really felt sorry for him and you didn't want to see him get hurt, so you did this to try and keep him from getting hurt. And so if they had ended it here and stopped it here, I think it would have killed the whole Randy being a heel deal.
He then says, I made sure he could be a father to your children. I made sure that was going to be possible. I helped him. I saved him. Beth then slaps him, and Randy then RKO's Beth.
After she kicks him.
Yeah, I forgot the kick. Little brother, he was talking about, oh yeah, I kicked him.
Well, I think Randy has to be into it, but I also think they have to give him something that's decent and something that he can use. So I think the way they did this was awesome.
I have mixed feelings because I thought it was good and I liked it. I don't know. I liked the whole explanation of like, I did this to save you because Like,
hey, thanks for the follow.
You saved me, and it's a very twisted way of, like, trying to help him because he doesn't want to see him get hurt. But he, like, went about it the entire wrong way, which is, like, weird, you know? Like, so, I liked that. And then after, it was really funny. I thought this was hilarious after this whole segment was done. They, like, panned to the crowd and stayed on the crowd for a while. They really sold it that, like, Beth was like, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know? And that, you know, that this wasn't supposed to happen, and then Beth, that wasn't supposed to happen. So, it was almost like that time where Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley almost blew each other up. Through, you know, the LED board or whatever. And where they, like, panned to the crowd and stuff and just stayed there until they were all, like, cleaned up and, like, medical network or, you know, people stuff came out and helped them. It was kind of like that where they just, like, stayed on the crowd for a bit and then they went to the announcers and literally Byron Saxton was like,
Randy didn't hit her, he RKO'd her.
Randy, Beth couldn't have said it better. Randy Orton really is a son of a bitch. And he just, like, stood there. And I was just like, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my lifetime. It was so funny. Oh, my gosh. So, okay. I get it. The RKO is supposed to be, like, destructive and stuff. And, like, it's not like Beth isn't a wrestler and hasn't taken moves like this before. So I always hate when they...
So if Maven hit me, that's not TV-14.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. I was very mixed on this whole thing.
I loved it.
I thought it was good.
They had to end it this way to keep Randy as a heel.
Except that people were wanting him to RKO. And it's not like they were booing him out of the building.
No, they weren't. But I think after it happened, a lot of people were like, whoa, he did it.
I
think that's the way, you know, it was like, I wasn't expecting that. And
I mean, I was expecting it from the beginning.
He landed
I'm
on
just
her.
saying. But
so I think that, like I said, I think I was cool with this, and I have no issue with the way they did this, the way they ended it. I think they had to do it this way. I say Gleen make ruthless aggression again. I think that they could do some stuff. I don't know if you have to go over, like, to the overboard with... the key is having the storylines there. And I think the key is having true heels and true faces. And I think right now that's why AEW looks good to a lot of people, is because you have true heels and you have true faces.
Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't... I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Again,
I thought it was a good show. In my Maven voice, agreed. And now, okay, we'll talk about some AEW stuff here. Possibility of Matt Hardy going to AEW. Possibility of Luke Harper showing up in AEW.
All right.
Possibility of the Revival. Sometime in the not so distant future, being in AEW.
So.
And if people are going to go, well, they just came from WWE. Well, okay, but you're talking about some of the best stars out there in wrestling right now, so. Colt Cabana signed.
So, guys, yesterday or today, I don't know which. I think it was yesterday though. AEW put up a post. It's a black screen.
Brody Lee, yes.
Black screen. Well, that's Luke Harper. Black screen with the Exalted One is near written on it in white letters. Somebody on Twitter zoomed in on all the letters, and on the very far left, the E at the beginning of Exalted, if you zoom in and you look at it, the E, well, that totally went all weird. The E and the I say sitting in a dead tree.
Yes.
In very faint light gray letters. If you look that up on the internet, stuff comes up about, like, buzzards and vultures sitting, you know, in like a tree.
Go ahead.
Buzzards and vultures sitting in a tree. Which, if we all remember, Luke Harper in WWE was a part of the Wyatt family. And their whole thing was, follow the buzzards. And I find it very interesting that they put that on there, and that was very different from what I think everybody has really been looking at as being the Exalted One.
Yeah,
I'll show further thoughts.
I think Harper's possible. If you had to pick a stipulation between Randy Orton and Edge, what would you pick? I don't think you could do the career match because I don't think either one's gonna leave.
No.
I would say.
Probably like a no disqualification type of match.
No
like where Edge can do whatever he wants to Randy Orton to get back at him. Hit him with a chair a couple times. Break his neck.
I would agree.
Stuff like that.
Edge versus Orton, make it Edge versus Foley at me.
So. I think everybody thinks the Exalted One is going to be Matt Hardy. And I think they're trying to make us think that the Exalted One is going to be Matt Hardy, but I don't think it's going to be Matt Hardy.
Well, I wonder if he comes in. The Broad's just an awesome gimmick. I miss them for sure. I think that the one thing about this, the whole AEW thing with Matt Hardy and things, I don't know if he's going to go over there, but I think he'd be better off there because I think they'll give him more creative control over what he's doing.
Yeah.
If you really want to make this good, Gleen, how about Randy Orton versus Edge in a Hell in a Cell, but Mick Foley as a referee? That'd be good, but can Mick Foley get around quick enough to be a referee?
Good question.
Because I don't think he can move fast enough. Just saying. Make Beth as referee. That'd be interesting. That'd be really interesting. I mean, he did follow them, but who knows? Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. See what happens.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And then Beth turns on Edge. That'd be really interesting, wouldn't it?
No, I don't think you can do that.
Or she accidentally ends up costing Edge the match.
I suppose that could be possible, but I don't see her turning on Edge just because, they're, actually married and they've kind of, brought that into the entire storyline. And so, I don't think they can do that because everybody's going to be like, well, that's totally fake.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
So.
Yeah.
I don't think they could do that. But I suppose if she accidentally, inadvertently costs Edge the match, I suppose. Yeah. Could be possible.
Are you live in Phoenix? Beat the crap out of Randy Orton.
So,
All right. I think that is it.
I think so.
I think we'll be back on, or I know, we'll be back on Wednesday for AEW NXT. I'm interested to see what AEW does after following their pay-per-view, Pay-per-view was awesome. I'm sorry, but man, I hear Beth and Natalia versus
Maybe it's pro wrestling. You can do anything.
Kairi Sane for the women's tag team titles.
See, you can do anything. Whoa. You can do anything, but I think, just the fact that they're actually married and everybody knows that, I don't know. I feel like people are going to be like, wow, this is, not legit because we know they're married. And, so, Beth turning on Edge just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the sake of the storyline,
Yeah, I guess. Maven joined Dark Order.
Never.
All right.
Hey, oh my gosh!
We're just getting ready to leave, man. Look,
the
you
jokes.
Show up, and we were just getting ready to take off.
The jokes. Friday was so good because of the jokes. Oh my gosh.
Maven, the leader of Dark Order.
You never know.
She's got the face paint. She does have the face paint, yes.
Hmm?
You have no idea what she can do.
Wow. Exactly. Wow is right. Wow. The jokes, man. The jokes. Oh my gosh.
We will be back Wednesday. All of you that stop by, thanks. You guys
No,
rock.
How dare you? How dare you, man? How dare you? My gravies.
You guys rock. We'll be back Wednesday with AEW NXT.
It's just blowing my mind, man. I can't believe.
Again, I'm interested to see what AEW does. Hey, later, Veggie. Thanks for stopping in. All right, we were out of here Wednesday.
That's a long time. I know, man.
It is a long time. So we will see you.
You better come prepared with jokes.
Yes.
Because if you're not, I'm going to be sadly disappointed.
Good night, Forgetty. Good night, Red Vipers. Good night, Elijah. Good night, Anybody else that's in here?
I'm sad. Me
Zendel,
too.
Daniel,
I didn't get to hear any jokes.
I don't know who else is still in here. James. All of you guys, have a good one. We are out. We'll be back on Wednesday night. Peace out.
Peace out, guys.